Yo, what up? I'm back again. Today, I'm here to talk about a couple of things that are holding you back in your process of becoming a better speaker in the language that you choose. I probably put Spanish in the title, but this applies to literally any language. So, today, I was watching a Steve Kaufman video, and he said a couple of things that I thought were profound. And the first thing that he said was that languages take time to gestate. And that's absolutely true. It literally just takes time to learn a language. And if you can't accept that, you're gonna do a lot of things to try to learn faster and it's not gonna work. And so I'm gonna link all these things together. But he said that he speaks X, Y, and Z languages better now than he did when he was really studying them. Because like I said, in the beginning, no matter how hard you study, it doesn't make up for the time that it takes to absorb certain things, right? And so the biggest mistake that you're making is being a forever student. You're on forums, Reddit threads, you're on YouTube, like, how do I learn faster? How do I do this more efficiently? And you're literally spending so much time doing that you're not actually learning. And I'm speaking to you from personal experience. Every video I make is something that I've done, and I'm like, I'm gonna help somebody else not do that. All of the time that you spend trying to learn faster, looking up, watching people's 30-minute videos, how I learned in 3 months, how I learned in 6 months. You're like, oh, I want to see what he did differently. It's all the same, bro. You're wasting your time. You are wasting your time studying on how to be a better learner. Literally, just put in the work and learn. And so going back to the topic of languages taking time to gestate, I'll give you an example. Well into my speaking journey, I was talking to someone in Spanish and they said, fui trabajando, right? And I'm like, fui trabajando. And this dude doesn't speak English. So I'm like, he's not making a mistake here. He said it like very intentionally, fui trabajando and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, bro, I thought you couldn't say fui trabajando. Like, I thought it had to be like a form of estar plus whatever, right? And he's like, oh yeah, unless blank, right? Unless blank. And he explained it to me that day, and I was just like, this is not adding up in my head. Fast forward, it wasn't something that I had to do intentionally. That day when I studied all these articles on like why is it okay to say fui plus whatever, it didn't really make sense. Fast forward, I didn't do anything special, just literally with time and hearing it more, I understood completely. I was like, oh, I get it. Like, it's something, if you're doing something incremental, I'll put some examples on here just in case someone else is confused. But if you're doing something that's done in stages, you can actually say fui trabajando. It's like saying, like, I don't even know in English. Like, I got to work on the process. Like, I began the process, basically. But that's something that it literally just took time and experience in the language for me to understand that it wasn't, I'm not saying that you couldn't pick it up by studying, but I'm saying that you'll be wasting your time for 6 hours reading on how does this make sense? I remember I did that with the subjunctive in the beginning too. I wanted to understand the subjunctive in one day. I'm reading all these articles, I'm reading Reddit explanations. I'm like, well, they're explaining it like this is easy, but I just don't understand. And literally just through speaking, I would be like, oh, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Just over time, I'm like, it literally would not make sense to say this verb in the indicative form right here. My brain knew it just through the implicit learning that I got from speaking with other people. Just like a kid. A kid learns by speaking, hearing people say it the right way, being corrected when they say it the wrong way. You just know. Most of the stuff in your native language that you know, you probably couldn't even explain it. Try to explain to someone that doesn't speak English the word got. I got shot. I got sick. I got an A on my math test. I got a lot of problems. You know what I mean? It's not something that you would be able to pick up in a day. And so that is the whole language. You need to chill out and just learn. Be happy to learn. Be happy to make connections. This is a recurring theme in all of my videos about language, really. It's not about being perfect. It's about speaking the language. It's about making connections. It's about making friends. It's about making other people happy, making yourself happy. if you're stressing yourself out with this language, you really gotta ask yourself, why am I doing this? Seriously, like really ask yourself that. One time, not too long ago, someone on a live asked me, like, I don't remember the question exactly, but basically how stressed out I've gotten to the point that I wanted to quit or something like that. And I was just like, bro, like this is fun to me, bro. Like I just watch stuff that I like in Spanish. I watch TV in Spanish. I watch podcasts about fighting in Spanish. I look at memes. I watch TikToks in Spanish, but I don't like really study. I don't do anything that makes me feel like, oh God, my head's gonna explode. If I don't understand something, honestly, I don't care that much. I try to understand it, and if I don't, I'm just like, I will understand it later. With enough time, I'll understand it later. I do that when I'm reading. If I see a word I don't know, I usually try to understand in the context. If I can't, I just keep going on with the story because it will make sense later. And if it doesn't, then it's just not that important, if that makes sense. There's some words in English that I've heard before, and I wouldn't be able to tell you those words off the top of my head because I never use them. If I saw the word again, I might be able to tell you what it means. But the point is, I never saw it again, so I didn't think it was important. And I do the same thing in both languages. If it's not something that I'm going to be using on a daily basis, I don't think it's that important to stress out over it and try to figure out the meaning of it. If it's something that is going to keep popping up, you'll learn it through context eventually. And like I said, if not, it's just not that important. So, key takeaways from this video: stop being a student and really go have some experience, all right? It's good to study. It's good to refine your language, you know what I mean? If you've already begun speaking, then yeah, get better at it, improve. If you want to do some homework, do that. But don't spend all of your time studying how to study. Don't spend all of your time watching other people's YouTube videos of how to get good at speaking a language and how you can do it faster. Understand that it's going to take you a really long time. I don't know exactly how long I've been speaking now. It's been more than 3 years. But every day there's something new for me. Every day there's something that I don't exactly understand. And that's okay. It's just, like I said, if you're really learning stuff in English, it's the same way too. I read books all the time, so there's constantly words and concepts in books that I don't know. And I don't think it's a big deal. And if you think it's a big deal, again, like I said, you got to reevaluate. You got to say, why am I doing this? Am I having fun learning? Or am I doing this to try to look cool? Am I doing this for someone else? Because you really got to be in this for you. So, anyways, just a little rant. I don't know if most of that made sense. If it didn't, don't care. Somebody will make sense of it. So, appreciate y'all for watching. Salute. I will see y'all next time. Peace.